part 2 of part 1. The vision waits for its appointed time. Part 2, everybody, of my last video. The vision waits for its appointed time. So, I'm just continuing briefly from my last video. The vision waits for the appointed time. And I want to add that the most beautiful words and energy that was ever told to me was when my soulmate over the seas in South Asia, my Capricorn, I'm not going to say his name, but yes, and of course I know now he's a leader. I didn't know then, but I know now. He said, "You are the most honorable woman and person in the universe." And I can't even begin to explain that feeling I had. It was the way he said it and how he said it and looking at me in the eyes and his energy. And I didn't know he was a leader back then, but I know now. And I just have never, that was the most beautiful, I've never, I can't even talk. That was the most beautiful words. And that was the most beautiful thing that anyone has ever told me in my entire almost 60 years of living. Okay? And it wasn't just the words, it was his energy and his tone, and it was true. It was true. It wasn't like, just, a line that somebody says to another. It wasn't a pick me up or anything like that. None of that. He was very, very honest. And nobody has ever said such beautiful words and energy given to me in my entire life. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it from this leader over in South Asia. I'm continuing from my last video. And I didn't know then what he meant by that. He kind of caught me off guard. And I'm like, is it because, when I was on Facebook Public, I was writing, I was like a Red Cross humanitarian writer. And I was writing, I was teaching myself Facebook, and I was teaching myself social media, and I was actually teaching myself the computer too, like all of the above. And I was on Facebook Public, and I was just writing my heart. I wasn't on Facebook to meet people or anything like that. I was just on Facebook Public to write my heart during lockdown and COVID lockdown. And this is how I got spotted by, I didn't know, but these 3 leaders over in South Asia. But I didn't know that they were leaders back then. But that was the most beautiful thing, the most beautiful moment, I think, in my entire life. And I just, that warm feeling, I was like, I was in shock. And I didn't quite understand it. Why am I the most honorable woman and person in the universe. Like, um, and now looking back, and this was like in 2022, um, 2020, 21, 22. Looking back, uh, I understand. I understand why he said that. I understand why he said that. And but I didn't know it then, but what I know now. And he he told me a few other things besides buying your children and buying your family and buying your friends and all that takes place in America. And he was absolutely right. And what a crisis that is. And he taught me, and then he told me about I'm the most honorable woman and person in the universe, and because my heart is very pure and very big, and I love everybody, and he said my heart is so big that I have to learn lessons from it. And so he, during the 2020 to 2023, I was learning lessons by my soulmates, and he was one of them. And I'm going to speak about now my other two soulmates from South Asia, and I'm going to speak about the next lesson that I learned from my Aries. I won't say his name, but I nicknamed him Moni from South Asia. And of course, he's a leader, but I didn't know then. And Moni, I miss him so much. Every time I say his name, I think of his face. And oh my God, he just was adorable. And what a relationship I had with these three leaders over Facebook public while I was writing my heart. I was writing for God, and that's how I attracted these leaders over the sea. I was writing for God. I was God's like secretary. I was God's right hand um, person. I was God. I was writing for Him, and and I was writing God's heart, and I was writing. I was telling the world what He was saying while we were all in COVID lockdown. And so, anyways, that's how I got spotted from this. This is how I was, why I was on Facebook, and this is my unique, authentic profile on Facebook. Was I was writing for God, and I was telling the world what God was saying, and that's why I was on Facebook. I wasn't on Facebook for anything else. And so the next lesson from my next soulmate from South Asia, and I won't say his name, but I nicknamed him Moni. He taught me, oh my God, this next lesson. Hold on, I'll be back.